Imagine manifesting financial abundance without breaking a sweat, without sacrificing your peace or grinding for hours every day. What if the secret to attracting wealth lies not in relentless hustle but in mastering the art of lazy manifesting? It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Yet, this is exactly what Neville Goddard, a man whose teachings transformed countless lives, spoke about. The truth is, the path to wealth doesn't require exhausting effort, endless strategies, or the constant pursuit of success. It only requires one thing: the power of your mind. Goddard's revolutionary method shows that you don't need to chase after opportunities. You don't need to be working hard all the time. What you need is to change how you think, how you feel, and how you assume the world works. This is not wishful thinking. It's a technique rooted in profound understanding of how reality responds to your inner state. It's all about using your imagination to create your financial future before it even exists. This isn't just a fantasy, it's a law of nature. If you're ready to discover how, stay with me. What you're about to learn could completely transform your financial destiny. The secret power of lazy manifesting might sound paradoxical at first. After all, society has taught us that wealth and success come only through hard work, long hours, and unrelenting hustle. But Neville Goddard's teachings challenge this deeply ingrained belief. He shows us that the true power of manifesting financial abundance lies not in forceful effort, but in mental alignment and deep inner belief. The key to lazy manifesting is understanding that reality responds to the state of your mind, not the quantity of your action. At the core of this philosophy is the idea that your imagination is the most powerful tool you have to shape your reality. We are constantly manifesting whether we are aware of it or not. The lazy aspect comes from realizing that the energy we put into the process doesn't need to be intense or exhausting. Instead of chasing after money or success, Goddard teaches us to assume that abundance is already ours, to feel the emotions of that abundance as though it's already real, and to trust that the universe will align with those assumptions. This lazy method of manifesting isn't about doing nothing, it's about doing less of what doesn't serve us and focusing our energy on what truly matters, our inner state. The process requires you to enter a relaxed, calm state of mind, free from doubt and worry. In this state, you vividly imagine your desired reality and live in the feeling of already having it. It's not about tirelessly pushing to make things happen, but rather about aligning your inner world with the outer one. For many, this is a radical shift in thinking. We've been taught that to manifest wealth, we need to hustle, strive, and constantly chase opportunities. But Neville Goddard flips this on its head. He emphasizes that once you align yourself with the energy of abundance and success, the opportunities will come to you naturally without needing to force them. The universe works with those who believe in their own power to create. By imagining the desired outcome and emotionally connecting with it, you activate the law of assumption, which states that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. The true power of lazy manifesting lies in the practice of mental discipline. It's about creating a mental environment where abundance already exists, where financial freedom is already yours, and then allowing the world around you to reflect that belief. Goddard's teachings don't require you to work tirelessly for your desires, but instead to work inwardly. Through imagination, visualization, and assumption, you tap into the energetic flow of the universe and begin to manifest effortlessly. In a world that constantly demands more effort, more hustle, more doing, Neville Goddard's lazy manifesting stands as a reminder that sometimes the most effective action is no action at all. Instead of working harder, we work smart. Instead of struggling, we trust the process and allow the flow of abundance to come to us, simply by believing it's already on its way. Lazy manifesting isn't about inaction. It's about shifting your focus from external struggle to internal belief, allowing the universe to meet you where you are. This is the true power of manifesting, and it's a power available to anyone willing to tap into it. 2. The old way: struggling for wealth. For centuries, society has taught us that financial success is earned through hard work, sacrifice, and endless struggle. We've been conditioned to believe that the more hours we clock in, the more effort we put into our work, the more likely we are to achieve the wealth and abundance we desire. The grind, the hustle, the never-ending chase, these have become the tried and true formulas for success. But what if this isn't the only path to financial freedom? What if in fact this path is the very reason so many people remain stuck in cycles of stress, burnout, and unfulfilled dreams? The old way of thinking about wealth and success is rooted in scarcity and lack. It says you must work hard to earn, you must suffer and struggle to get ahead. This philosophy breeds exhaustion and frustration, forcing people into an endless race for something they're told is just out of reach. And the more they chase, the further it seems to slip away. But what if the very effort we put into chasing success is counterproductive? What if the key to wealth isn't in working harder, but in working smarter, aligning our inner state with the abundance we seek? Neville Goddard's teachings challenge this conventional wisdom and reveal a shocking truth. Struggle is not necessary to manifest abundance. In fact, it's the opposite. Struggle and effort are often the very things that prevent us from manifesting the wealth we desire. When we focus on effort and struggle, we send a message to the universe that we are lacking, that we are not already in possession of the wealth we seek. This mindset reinforces the idea of scarcity. The more you focus on the chase, the more you reinforce the belief that wealth is something outside of you, something you must work endlessly to attain. And as long as you believe it's something you must chase, the universe will continue to reflect that back to you. In the old way, wealth is seen as something that must be earned through external actions. You work hard, you hustle, you grind, and only then do you deserve success. But this is where the flaw lies. It's an external, reactive approach to wealth that ignores the most powerful tool we have, the mind. Goddard's approach flips this old paradigm on its head. Instead of chasing wealth through external effort, he teaches that wealth is an internal state of mind. Financial abundance isn't something that must be earned through struggle and sacrifice. It's something that already exists, waiting for you to align with it. The more you focus on your inner state, your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions, the more the external world begins to reflect those beliefs. The old way of struggling for wealth keeps us trapped in the belief that financial success is a result of external forces and laborious effort. But the new way, the Neville Goddard way, reminds us that wealth is not something to be chased. It's something to be claimed through mental mastery. By shifting our inner state, assuming the reality we desire, and trusting in the process, we allow the universe to bring that reality to us effortlessly. When you understand this truth, that wealth is not earned through struggle, but manifested through belief, everything changes. The universe no longer seems like an adversary you must fight against. Instead, it becomes an ally, reflecting back to you the abundance you already know is yours. The real power lies not in hard work, but in changing your perception of what's possible and claiming your place in the abundance that already exists. Neville Goddard's teachings center on a profound truth. Your external reality is nothing more than a reflection of your internal world. This simple yet powerful concept changes everything. For years we've been conditioned to believe that the world around us dictates our experiences, that wealth, success, or even happiness are things we must chase or obtain through external means. But Goddard reveals a deeper truth. It is not the external world that shapes you, but your internal state that shapes your world. At the heart of Neville's philosophy is the idea that imagination is the key. Goddard teaches that what you imagine and the emotions you attach to that imagination become the foundation for your reality. This means that everything from the amount of money you have to the career you build, to the relationships you form, is first created in your mind. The external world simply manifests the state of your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. The idea that you create your reality may seem radical, but it is backed by centuries of philosophy and now by modern scientific research. Our thoughts, beliefs, and imaginations hold immense power. What we truly believe to be possible in our inner world is projected outward, often without us even realizing it. The law of attraction, as Neville Goddard teaches it, is not just about wishing for things to happen, it's about living as though they already have happened. Goddard's concept of living in the end is a core part of his philosophy. He insists that you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. In other words, act, feel, and think as if you have already achieved the financial abundance you desire. This is not a mere mental exercise, but a lifestyle. You must embody the feeling of your desire being real now, not in the future. This powerful assumption sends a clear message to the universe that your wish is already granted. And in turn, reality starts shifting to match this internal truth. When you live from this place of assumption, You're no longer working to make things happen. You're working to align with the already existing truth of your desired outcome. This takes the pressure off. You're not waiting for something external to change. You're changing how you perceive reality, and as a result, reality changes around you. The more consistently you hold this assumption, the more inevitable your manifestation becomes. This is the core of Goddard's idea of creating your reality from within. If you want financial abundance, don't focus on the lack of money or the struggle to acquire it. Instead, focus on what it feels like to already be financially abundant. Imagine it, feel it, live it as though it is your current reality. Once you've assumed the feeling of financial success, you begin to align with that reality, and your external circumstances inevitably shift to reflect. In this way, reality is not something you passively receive. It is something you actively create. Your mind is the ultimate architect of your life. Wealth, success, and all that you desire are already within you. By assuming that they are yours, you open the door for the universe to mirror your internal state in the physical world. Goddard teaches that the power to manifest is in your imagination and belief. The moment you understand this, the moment you realize that you are the creator of your own reality, everything changes. Your thoughts are no longer passive reflections of the world, but active forces that shape the world around you. By believing in the financial abundance you deserve, you bring it into your reality. It's not about waiting for the world to give you permission. It's about aligning with the wealth that is already yours and seeing it come into being. 4. The lazy manifesting technique: doing less, achieving more. At first glance, the idea of lazy manifesting might seem counterintuitive. After all, how could anything worthwhile, especially something as significant as financial abundance, come from doing less? Aren't we taught to work tirelessly, chase after opportunities, and constantly grind in order to succeed? Neville Goddard's revolutionary method turns this thinking upside down and shows us that the real key to manifesting isn't about pushing harder or doing more. In fact, it's about doing less struggle, less resistance, and less effort. The lazy in lazy manifesting doesn't mean inaction, rather, it means an action that is effortless, intentional, and grounded in belief. It's about working smarter, not harder. Instead of engaging in constant, exhausting effort to chase after what you want, Goddard teaches you to focus your energy on what's most important: your inner state of mind. Manifesting isn't about the physical work you do in the world, it's about the mental work you do within yourself. Goddard's technique revolves around the principle of assumption, the idea that you must assume the reality you desire is already true. In other words, you don't need to work harder to achieve financial abundance. You need to live as though it's already yours. The more deeply you believe that you've already manifested your wealth, the more natural it will feel for that wealth to come to you. This is the essence of lazy manifesting, allowing what is already true in your imagination to materialize into your reality without needing to force it. Imagine waking up each day knowing that the abundance you desire is already a part of your life. You don't need to strive or struggle to make it happen. Instead, you feel a sense of peace, knowing that the universe is already aligning to reflect your inner state of abundance. By imagining yourself living in a state of financial prosperity, you set into motion the law of assumption, which states that what you assume to be true will eventually be reflected in your reality. In lazy manifesting, the work is all done internally. The mental exercises, the focused visualizations, and the emotional alignment are where the true power lies. You need to spend less time focusing on external circumstances or on trying to force outcomes. Instead, you turn inward, where you already have everything you need to create the life you want. One of the most powerful aspects of this technique is the relaxed state of mind you enter to manifest. Instead of trying to push and fight for your desires, you enter a peaceful, calm state where you can vividly imagine your desired reality. In this state, you don't doubt, fear, or worry. You simply live in the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled. Manifesting from this relaxed, mentally focused state creates a powerful magnetism that pulls your desires toward you effortlessly. The beauty of lazy manifesting is that it doesn't require a rigid structure or complex rituals. It's simple, natural, and deeply effective. Instead of chasing after money or opportunities, you become the embodiment of abundance. You align your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions with the reality of your desires, and then you let the universe take care of the rest. By doing this, you stop fighting against the flow of life and instead allow it to carry you to your goals. In the old world, we were taught that wealth and success require struggle, effort, and sacrifice. But Neville Goddard's lazy manifesting technique invites us to let go of that old paradigm. You don't have to chase wealth. You just need to claim it as your own in your imagination and in your belief. This method is not about inaction, it's about focusing your energy on what matters, your inner state. When you manifest from a place of calm certainty, financial abundance begins to flow toward you effortlessly. Neville Goddard's teachings on manifestation may seem mystical to some, but there is an undeniable scientific foundation that supports the principles he teaches. At the heart of manifestation is the understanding that thoughts and beliefs are energy, and that energy influences the physical world. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a principle rooted in both quantum physics and modern neuroscience. One of the key scientific concepts behind manifestation is the law of attraction. The idea that like attracts like. Our thoughts and emotions emit frequencies that align with similar frequencies in the universe. If you constantly think about abundance and wealth, you begin to vibrate at a frequency that attracts similar energy. Essentially, the universe responds to the frequency you emit, bringing experiences, people, and opportunities that match that energy. This concept is closely aligned with Goddard's teachings, which focus on assuming the feeling of already having what you desire. Quantum physics provides a scientific explanation for how this works. The field of quantum mechanics shows us that at a subatomic level, everything is energy, and everything is interconnected. Particles exist in a state of probability rather than certainty until they are observed or measured. This observation collapses the wave of probability into a definite outcome. In essence, the very act of observing or focusing on something changes its potential reality. This aligns perfectly with Neville's philosophy. By focusing your mind on the desired outcome, you are collapsing the infinite possibilities into a reality where your desires already exist. This idea is supported by the observer effect in quantum physics, which suggests that our perceptions shape reality. When you focus your attention on a particular outcome, say financial abundance, you are essentially observing and collapsing the probabilities of reality into the manifestation of wealth. By mentally living in the end result of your desires, you focus your energy on that specific outcome, and reality responds accordingly. Modern neuroscience also supports the idea that thoughts shape reality. The brain is constantly processing information, and its default state is to create patterns based on past experiences. However, the brain is neuroplastic, meaning it is capable of rewiring itself based on new experiences and beliefs. When you continuously focus on the assumption that financial abundance is already yours, your brain forms new neural pathways that support this belief, making it easier for you to recognize opportunities and take actions that align with your assumed reality. In neuroscience, this phenomenon is known as cognitive reframing. Essentially, when you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, your brain starts to interpret the world in alignment with that new belief. You begin to notice opportunities that you would have otherwise overlooked, and you start to behave in ways that are consistent with your new beliefs about wealth. This is how your inner world, your thoughts and assumptions directly influences your outer world, your material reality. The power of manifestation, then, is not just about hoping for the best or wishing for a miracle. It is about training your mind to focus on what you want and to consistently assume that it is already true. By doing so, you rewire your brain and adjust your energy to align with the reality you wish to create. The more you focus on your assumption that you are already wealthy, successful, and abundant, the more your external reality will reflect that belief. The science behind Neville Goddard's teachings is clear. Our thoughts have the power to shape our reality. By aligning our mind with the desired outcome, and consistently assuming that what we want is already true, we can bend reality to our will. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's the result of scientific principles at play. The universe doesn't respond to our hard work or our struggle. It responds to our thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. When we align those with our desires, the universe has no choice but to deliver. 6. How to apply the lazy manifesting technique. The beauty of Neville Goddard's lazy manifesting technique lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Unlike conventional methods that require relentless action, this technique focuses on the power of thought, imagination, and assumption. To apply it, you don't need to work harder. You need to work smarter by aligning your inner state with the abundance you wish to manifest. Here's a clear step-by-step guide to using this transformative method. Enter a relaxed state of mind. The first step in applying the lazy manifesting technique is to relax your body and calm your mind. The more relaxed you are, the more receptive your mind becomes to the power of imagination. Find a quiet space, sit or lie down, and take deep breaths. As you begin to relax, focus on releasing any tension or stress. This allows your subconscious mind to become open to new beliefs and possibilities. Visualize your desired reality. Once you're relaxed, start imagining your desired reality as vividly as possible. Picture yourself already living in the abundance you wish to manifest. Whether it's financial freedom, success, or material wealth, create a detailed mental image of what your life would look like once you have everything you want. Don't just see it, feel it. Engage all your senses in this mental experience. Imagine the sounds, the colors, the textures, and the emotions associated with your ideal life. The more real and detailed the visualization, the more powerful it becomes. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is where the power of assumption comes in. Don't just think about your desires, feel them as if they are already true. Act, think, and speak as though you are already living the life you desire. If you want financial abundance, feel the freedom of having money and the relief of not worrying about bills. Imagine the confidence and comfort of already being wealthy. By assuming the feelings of success, you align your inner world with your desired outcome. Repeat the process with conviction. Manifestation requires consistency. To make this technique work, you need to repeat the visualization and assumption process regularly, ideally before you go to bed or upon waking up. This is when your subconscious mind is most receptive. Each time you visualize, reaffirm the assumption that your desired reality is already true. Feel it deeply and do so without doubt. Repetition helps solidify the new beliefs in your subconscious, making them more powerful and more likely to manifest. Let go and trust the process. After visualizing and assuming your desired reality, let go of any attachment to the outcome. Trust that the universe will bring your desires to fruition. The key is to stop actively chasing after the results. Allow them to come to you naturally, confident that your assumptions will materialize. The moment you stop grasping for results, you release resistance and let the flow of abundance take its course. By following these steps, you apply the lazy manifesting technique with ease and efficiency. It's not about working harder or forcing outcomes. It's about aligning your inner world with the life you wish to live and allowing the universe to match your beliefs with external results. This method requires no intense action, just focused imagination, deep belief, and a relaxed state of mind. Doubt is a natural part of the human experience, but when it comes to manifesting your desires, especially financial abundance, doubt can be one of the most powerful forces working against you. It's easy to fall into the trap of second-guessing the process, especially when you're practicing a technique like lazy manifesting, which asks you to trust that the inner work you're doing rather than external hustle is enough. Yet Neville Goddard teaches that overcoming doubt is crucial to realizing your dreams. The first step in overcoming doubt is understanding that doubt itself is part of the manifestation process. The mind will naturally question the possibility of change, especially when you're shifting from a state of effort and struggle to one of trust and assumption. Doubt is the ego's attempt to keep you in your comfort zone, protecting you from what feels unfamiliar or uncertain. But the moment you recognize that doubt is not a reflection of reality but simply a mental block, you regain control over it. Trusting the process is key. Manifestation, especially Neville's teachings, doesn't happen overnight. The world around you may not immediately reflect your assumptions, and that can trigger fear and doubt. But the process requires patience, faith, and consistent belief in your inner state. The universe works to reflect the assumptions and beliefs you hold. It just takes time for the material world to catch up with your internal changes. One of the most powerful ways to overcome doubt is to reinforce your faith through repetition. Neville encourages persistent mental discipline. When you repeatedly assume your desired reality and emotionally embody it, doubt loses its grip. The more you mentally rehearse your success and live in the end, the more it becomes a part of your subconscious mind. Eventually, the doubt fades away because your inner belief becomes stronger than any external evidence of lack. Another method to combat doubt is to remind yourself of past successes. Every time you've succeeded in the past, even in small ways, is proof that manifestation works. By reflecting on these experiences, you reinforce the power of your beliefs and assumptions. These reminders help silence the voice of doubt and shift your focus back to trust. Persistence is key in overcoming doubt. The more consistently you practice living in the end and holding your assumptions, the less doubt will affect you. Trust the process and don't let fear or impatience distract you. The universe is already aligning to bring your desires into fruition. All you need to do is trust that it will happen in perfect timing. As Neville Goddard teaches, faith is the assurance that what you assume is already true, even when external circumstances don't yet reflect it. Conclusion: manifesting the abundant life you deserve. Neville Goddard's teachings offer a revolutionary shift in how we view wealth and success. Instead of striving through endless hustle and struggle, you can begin to manifest financial abundance by tapping into the infinite power of your mind. At the core of this transformation is the idea that your inner state creates your outer world. Your beliefs, assumptions, and imagination shape everything you experience. When you begin to assume that you are already financially abundant, not as a distant goal but as a present reality, the universe aligns with that assumption and begins to mirror it back to you. You are no longer waiting for external circumstances to change. You are changing your internal reality, and in turn, the external world must reflect that shift. Manifesting the abundant life you deserve is not about wishing for something to happen or hoping that things will change. It's about taking full responsibility for your thoughts and emotions, aligning them with the financial success you want, and living as though it is already here. The more you assume the feeling of already being wealthy, the more natural it becomes for wealth to flow into your life. Remember, manifesting doesn't require endless effort or struggle. It's not about working harder or fighting against the world. Instead, it's about relaxing into the certainty that what you desire is already yours. The lazy manifesting technique shows that wealth is not something outside of you that you must fight for, but something that's already waiting to be realized within you. The abundant life you deserve is not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to align their beliefs with the reality they wish to create. Start today by assuming your wealth is already here. Use the power of imagination, feel the emotions of success, and trust the process. The moment you make this mental shift, the universe begins to move in your favor. The world is ready to reflect the reality you choose to live in. You've always had the power to manifest your abundance. Now it's time to claim it.